It takes more than pointing to a pile of divs and calling it a design system to be a great software engineer. This is episode 351 of the Soft Skills Engineering Podcast, and I'm your host, Jamison Dance.
I'm your host, contained within 7 divs, Dave Smith.
That's semantic, baby. Soft Skills Engineering is a weekly podcast where we answer all of your non-technical questions about the technical field of software development. And so we will not speak of divs from here on out.
Except to say that my good friends call me Div Smith.
Div Smith. That's an awesome nickname.
I'm the Div Smith. I work with divs.
I got better. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
I hammer the
Forging divs.
I forge them into design systems. It's a forgery of a design system, though. Badoom. Oh, the puns.
You should thank our wonderful patrons.
I thought you were going to say you should do puns professionally, and I was going to say I already do. All right, weekly shoutouts this week to our Patreonans. Systematic Guy, Anthony Ongaro, Kyle Boss, Connie Lee, Santa Hopar, Noah Fraser Lowe, Kent C. Dodds, Jenny Kim, Owen Chartle, Craig Motlin, I Love Mavis, The Stochastic Parrot, Alice Jost, Ganad and Houghton, Ohio. Gosh dang it, I gotta look up how to pronounce that because I know we're saying it wrong. Patreon.com.au, we're hiring. Ira Chan, Monkey Face Emoji, Jonathan King, Testing is Documenting.org, Oladapafadi, Will Angel, pronounced like that town in Ohio, /Scotland with an unpronounceable name, Ernga, Nick Hathaway, Travis Sanders, Braden Keynes, John Grant, Bartek Tatkowski, Cody Sale, Nick Cantar, and Philip John Basile. Thank you so much to each of you who continue to contribute your labor's fruits to this podcast, to sustain it, to finance it, and to make Jason. Oh, I guess if you pull some consonants out of your name, it is Jason. Okay.
I've got some nieces and nephews who call me Jason.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I have a brother-in-law named Jason too, so they also get mixed up.
Is he the cool one?
Yes, actually.
Anyway, it makes Jamison's heart warm every time he sees. We've actually installed a little game, a little app on Jamison's desktop where every time a new patron signs up, a little cat walks across his desktop. So just so you know.
That'd be amazing, actually. Well, I just revealed. It is amazing. Excuse me.
Jamison confuses tenses sometimes. Subjunctive, present, whatever. They're like the same to you.
Yes.
Anyway, if you'd like to join this list of heroes who support the show, go to softskills.audio. Any dollar amount will get you access to our Slack community. Invitations go out the first of each month. If you contribute enough to make that cat walk across Jamison's monitor, we will say your name. We will try to pronounce anything in any language that is safe for work, even emojis, every week on this show. All right.
I really like how you said your labor's fruits, because it made me think about if we could accept sponsorship money or like sponsorship in kind, right? You're a farmer, you grow potatoes.
Yeah.
You just mail us some potatoes and then we shout your farm out.
Absolutely. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Unequivocally yes. Just write in, we'll give you our address. Actually, one time someone said they wanted to send us something, so we purchased a post office box just for that. It was the most expensive, wonderful little gift that we had to pay for.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Totally worth it.
It was great.
I still got them, actually. Where are they? Oh, yeah, they're right behind me. You can't see them on camera, but I do have some beautiful little gifts that we got from someone. And one day I'll reveal what they are, but as for now, they are obscured. All right.
Instead of that, I will read our first question.
Okay.
This is from an anonymous listener who says, I am not a software engineer, so you can stop reading here if you like. I do not like. I will keep reading.
Okay.
I listen to this show every week, as the soft skills you discuss are just as applicable to my role as an electronics engineer. I have 5 years of experience and, in my opinion, the right level of competency to step into a senior role. I recently started a new job, and I've been encouraged by my boss to be more proactive in taking on senior work so I can be considered for a senior engineer promotion. The problem is the existing senior engineers in my team are uninterested in sharing their workload with me. I will try to assist them in their senior level tasks, but it never lasts long as they will carry on with the work themselves after a short while. I've also been assigned senior level tasks by my boss, and when I've asked for small levels of assistance from the other senior engineers, they've taken it as an invitation to do the rest of the work for me. My boss is indifferent to my struggle, as he only cares about the output of our team as a whole and not who does what. I know that I'm performing well, as I was recently given a good performance review, so I don't understand why I'm being denied these chances to step up. I don't want to quit as I just started this job and the pay is good, but I also don't want to just sit idly by as a mid-level engineer while everyone I know gets promoted. What can I do?
Oh, man. What a strong visual of I go to the senior engineers asking for a little bit of help, and they just take over and finish the project. Oh, man. That's painful.
I do this with my kids. It's really hard not to.
I'm so good at this. I'm so good at wiping the food off your plate and putting it in the dishwasher.
I can fold paper in half very accurately. Better even than you.
Give me that paper.
So I'll just do it for you.
Have you seen that Simpsons episode from a long time ago where the quirky scientist is in like a daycare or something and there's these little kids' toys and then the scientist wants the toys and the kids want he takes the toys from the kids and the kids want him back and he's like, you don't appreciate it on as many levels as I do.
No, I haven't, but I will after this.
Okay. That's what these senior engineers seem like.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm thinking about it from your boss's perspective, and it kind of makes sense because one of the ways that their output is measured is by the output of their team, and that all kind of smushes together. Like their boss doesn't care who's doing what,
right,
on their team, on your boss's team, I should say. I could see how that could get smushed together.
For sure.
Well, what do you do about it?
Well, I mean, you could just start taking credit for all this work that these senior engineers are doing for you.
You've delegated it to them.
Yeah. I mean, look at me. I'm a multiplier.
Yeah. When you assign me a task that's really hard, by golly, it gets done.
And it gets done as if a really senior engineer did it too.
Yeah. And boy, aren't those really senior engineers kind of slacking off on their tasks?
Yeah. Why aren't they getting their things done?
Yeah.
If you could manage to scale this up and do this with like 4 or 5 senior engineers, boy, you could get promoted in a hurry. Is it sustainable though?
I think you've described the beginnings of a downline, because then you just need you need to build the pyramid below you of people that are
yes,
you're delegating stuff to.
And then I think about the pyramid a little differently. What if there are other people who want promotions and you take their work from them, feed it to your pool of senior engineers who are doing your work, and so now they get promoted, but then you can show, I don't know, you can show something and maybe get another promotion. Yeah, this will work. It's sustainable. The math checks out.
No one is being taken advantage of.
Exactly.
You're all
it passes the ethical test.
Small business owners.
Yes, you're all. That's right. You're creating jobs.
Entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
One time I was in a long car ride with a relative, not from my immediate family, but outside of that. And we drove by some MLM headquarters, and I started trashing on MLMs. And after about 25 minutes, they said, hey, my partner worked as an accountant for like that company for like a decade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
you were like,
yeah, I'd forgotten.
I forgot that you're,
well,
I forgot they were such a terrible person. Sorry. I don't think MLM people are terrible people. I just want to be clear. That was just a part of the joke.
Yeah, I mean, the companies are bad. Okay, let's get back to the question.
Okay.
Let's get out of here. What can you do?
I think, is this a question of how do I get help on tasks? Well, maybe there's 2 questions here. How do I get help without having the task get taken over? Good. Mm-hmm. And how do I actually carve out senior level work for me to do?
I think the first question feels easier to answer to me.
Then that's the only one we'll answer.
Okay, good. So I think the way you do this is you state clearly the outcome you're looking for by going to this other person for help. So say you've been given a task to hook an LED up to a breadboard. I've done some Arduino stuff, and that's my understanding of electrical engineering.
It's all breadboards and LEDs.
Yeah, it's breadboards all the way down. And you don't want the completed product delivered. You want help with this one step. So you you might need to put in a bit more work up front to define and clarify, like, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's where I'm stuck. Can you help me with this specific thing?
Yeah,
and then
maybe even say what you don't want them to do.
Yeah, harder even than saying, here's what I want help with, is like, if they start trying to do other stuff, say, thank you, I think I can handle that, and I want you to be able to focus on your own work and kind of let's like, or you could just say, okay, cool, we're done. Like, you did the thing. Now I'm going to go back to working on the rest of it.
I think that when you're asking for help, it's really also important to state why you're working on this task. And if you clearly say to them, listen, I'm trying to expand my scope and trying to take on more challenging work that would push me and help me grow. So this task is part of that plan. And the subtext there that you're not saying out loud is, if you take this from me, I won't be able to grow.
Yeah. I think, as we usually do, I'm assuming there's no ill intent here, that they're not trying to like hold you down and keep you from taking on this high level work.
Yeah, because we forgot to mention that in order to give you the senior promotion, one of them has to get a demotion to junior.
Yeah. I mean, they could be worried about that, and that would suck and make this harder if they're like trying to sabotage the competition at senior level. But I'm not going to worry about that, because that sounds hard and stressful. I don't want to do that. I'm here to have fun and talk to my friend Dave. The other question you asked was, or you identified, was, how do you get this kind of senior level work assigned to you? Is that right?
That's what I said, but also that one sounds hard, so maybe not.
It sounds like that's kind of happening. I've been assigned senior level tasks by my boss, so it sounds like...
Yeah, it's in progress. They just keep getting swiped away from you as soon as you get started.
Yeah.
Someone else swoops in and folds that paper for you. Someone just like Jamison.
I wonder if these people are just so excited by problem solving. Like, maybe they just really like the work. That can be an engineer archetype of like, ooh, a puzzle. Yes. I'm going to solve the puzzle, and it's satisfying and engrossing.
Leave me alone. I'm puzzle solving.
Yeah. Oh, you've brought me this puzzle. Thank you.
Because you know what you're doing is you're offering them a fun diversion away from the thing they were really working on, which is some terrible like PowerPoint presentation that they had to do.
Yeah. And that's where, again, being really explicit about what kind of help you're asking for. Yeah. You could even time box it. You could say, hey, can I have half an hour of your time? And then when the meeting is up, say, thanks, I'm going to go back and keep going on this task that you are not going to start working on now. Like, if you can make some boundaries between the time period that they are helping and not helping, then maybe it'll be easier for them to switch back to the other thing they were working on.
You could do one of those Men in Black camera things at the end. Could you forget that we talked about this? This puzzle is no longer interesting to you.
Yeah. Oh, crap. I held down the button too long and you just forgot the last week of work. Sounds like a rough day for you tomorrow. Well, see ya.
I guess you won't remember this part either. I'm out of here.
Looks like the task of identifying who will be demoted to make space for me has become easier.
This guy can't even remember the last 7 days. How can we trust him as a senior engineer?
The person who keeps forgetting weeks of work.
I can't help but notice we slipped back into question 1.
Yeah. I have a solution.
Okay.
What if we go on to the next question?
Who's in charge around here? Do we have a producer or something?
No. No, it's
oh boy. But I will
based.
offer one like consolation prize on number 2, which is your manager is doing this for you already, it seems. And that's good. So I think you've got what you need there. If it's not enough, if the volume or the frequency of these projects is not sufficient to help you to build up enough of a portfolio for your promotion, then I would have that conversation with your manager by saying that you need more. And even though your manager is not intrinsically motivated to give you those tasks as opposed to other people, keeping it on their radar will help. You know, it's better than not saying anything at all.
Yeah.
Also, be sure to thank your manager for the tasks you have been given that were more senior level tasks.
Cool. Have we answered this question?
I think so. Good luck.
Good luck. Will you read our next question, Dave?
I will. This question, I believe, comes from an anonymous listener who says, I am a junior dev and recently accepted a C2H position.
Oh, contract to hire.
Okay.
Should have typed that out.
Contract to hire position at a large enterprise company as a junior developer. I work closely with 3 or 4 other devs. Over the past couple of months, I have increasingly taken the lead on the project that I am working on, while the lead dev, also a contract to hire from a different agency, has taken a back seat and essentially stopped doing any work. Ooh. The last time the lead dev committed any code was over 2 months ago. Worse yet, lead dev is tracking time and marking tasks as complete in our work tracking software without actually doing those tasks. Lead dev also approves all pull requests without reviewing the code, so I have become the de facto code reviewer for the other junior devs' pull requests. I seem to be the main dev taking initiative on the project and trying to move work forward. Our manager is quite oblivious to this situation. They see that work is getting done, so has no reason to put our team under the microscope. I like lead dev personally, but I feel like my alacrity is being taken advantage of while lead dev kicks back and relaxes, and I feel like I have become a senior junior developer as a result. I think the right thing to do is to make our manager aware of the situation, but I don't think that it's necessarily the correct thing to do. Just for clarity, the word right was in air quotes. If so, how should I go about doing so? If not, what else should I do? Help! Oh my goodness.
Alacrity is a good word.
That's exactly what I was about to say, and I just need to Google that.
I know that word from playing Dota 2. It's the name of a spell that Invoker can cast.
Oh yeah, as soon as I said as soon as I Googled alacrity, it was like the alacrity resource packs on Minecraft, or texture packs, or planet. What is this? Okay, alacrity, brisk and cheerful readiness. She accepted the invitation with alacrity. All right. Cheerful readiness.
In Dota 2, it makes the target do more damage and attack faster.
And they call that cheerful readiness?
Yeah, cheerful readiness to destroy your enemies.
Okay.
Okay, I had 2 thoughts here. My first one is you should talk to your manager. I think you're right. The other thought I had is maybe the lead dev is doing stuff that you don't know of. It's not that they're doing nothing. They're just doing other stuff, and maybe that's worth investigating a little bit. Maybe not, though. Marking tasks is complete in our work tracking software without actually doing those tasks. Oof. That just sounds bonkers to me. Yeah. I can't... If what that means is the work is not done, and they say, it's done, I can't see how...
How does that work for a long period of time?
They would get away with it. Yeah. But is it like taking credit? So I wondered, is it maybe taking credit for other people's work? Like, oh, I'll mark this as I did it. I didn't do the thing, but just so happens my name shows up on the story or whatever. I don't know. Both of those sound bad, but I feel like marking stuff as done without actually doing them.
That's really bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, it feels like you're going to get fired for cause.
Yeah, and in this case, the person's going to get fired because you're going to tell your manager that they're not doing the job they say they're doing. So that might be a little painful.
Yeah. I think you should talk to your manager still. And the reason why is because you're in a contract to hire role. Mm-hmm. You're not full-time yet, and presumably the decision on whether you'll be full-time or not depends on your performance in this role. If you're actually working as a senior developer, if you're leading the team, but your manager doesn't know because they think the other developer is actually doing all the lead dev stuff, that could make it so you don't get hired. Maybe they decide they only have room to hire one of these contract to hire roles, and like, well, we'll hire the more senior person that's doing all the leadership stuff. Even just like clarifying, hey, I want to make sure you know what I'm doing for the team. From a selfish perspective, I think is useful for your prospects of being hired at this company, if that's what you want.
And frankly, if you're doing the job of a lead developer on this team, but as I gather from the question, you're not being paid for that role, maybe if you talk to your manager, you could make that official in the form of a pay raise.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it, but there is one potential outcome here is they decide not to pay this other contractor anymore. And how much should you let that decide whether you talk to your manager about it or not?
Yeah. Think of it not as getting fired, but rather a modest pay decrease of 100%.
Contract to hire, maybe, is
Contract to fire.
what that
It's a
is.
C2F.
Yeah, contract to fire.
Yeah, this is rough,
I don't know.
though. I mean, this person needs to be let go or needs to fix their work. I mean, it is unethical, and it is harmful to your team and to your company and to your customers to have someone lying about the work they're doing. If that is, I'm going to take this at face value and assume that's what's happening. They are committing almost fraud. I don't know if earthly law would consider this fraudulent activity, criminal fraud, but it sure smells like fraud to me. Being paid to do a job,
light of space,
yes,
clearly fraud.
yes, in the cold, yes. Like if you took your car to get serviced by a mechanic, they charged you for it, they gave you a sheet of paper that says they did it, and then they didn't do it. What would you call that? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking you would call this too.
Yeah.
At the very least, I would call it naughty.
It's one step below fraud legally.
Yes.
It's naughtiness.
Naughtiness in the first degree.
I think so. Another action you could think about is, do I talk to this person about it, right? I don't want to go behind their back, get them in trouble with the manager. I do not think you should do that. You're a junior developer. You're new to the industry. You're new to the team. It's not your job to fix this person. And I don't feel like you have this like moral imperative to tell them first before you tell their manager that you see this.
But if you are going to go straight to the manager, you better be right about it.
Yeah. Or another option is to be very explicit about what you know to be true. Right. Like,
I was going to say that too.
Yeah. Like I see this thing, and so maybe you suspect that they're actually doing nothing, but what you see is like, I don't know, there's a story that sat for a long time that you were blocked by because they didn't commit on it, and it
here are links to 15 pull requests that they were supposed to review and did not. Here are 7 tickets in our task tracking system that this person said they completed but did not. Do not tell just cold hard facts. Do not tell your manager what to conclude from these cold hard facts. Just tell your manager the facts you observe and say, I thought you might want to know about this. Also, I want you to know it's painful for me to share this. And also, you should know your manager will probably not protect your anonymity in reporting this unless your manager is very, very skilled. It's very hard for managers to do that because your developer's first question when your manager confronts them about it will be, What are you talking about? Well, I don't know. I mean, this person told me, Johnny over here told me that. It's like, oh, crap.
I work closely with 3 or 4 other devs. So one of the devs is the lead dev. So it means there's 2 or 3 other devs that aren't you on the team.
They're probably going to know.
You could also talk about it in terms of the impact on yourself. So maybe you have to spend a lot more time reviewing pull requests because they aren't getting reviewed by this other developer. So it's slowing you down on your other work or keeping you from doing as much as you would like on other stuff. And if you can approach it like, I have this problem, can you help me solve this problem? Can you help me solve the problem for me? I'm not telling you like what to do about this other person. I just need help getting my stuff done. Or I don't know. That's not the right way to express it. But focusing it on you will also make it appear less like you're coming to tattle on this other person.
It's true. Now, given that this person is probably going to find out it was you, does that change your mind at all, Jamison, that on whether you should go to them first before you go to the manager?
No.
You'd still go to
I think I've said on this podcast in the past, you should talk to the person individually before raising a problem with the manager. I don't remember when. When I said this just now, that you should just go to the manager first, I had this little ding in the back of my head saying, I think you just contradicted yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'll do it again, too. I'll contradict myself some more at some future date. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's worth the And what's going to happen? Do you think they don't know that they're doing this? And you'll like,
well, what they might not know
bring them
is
to a realization.
that they might not know that they're not getting away with it.
I don't know. Is that your job to let them know, hey, you're actually not getting away with it, and I will do something about it? I think that just puts you in a weird situation.
Yeah,
then you have to decide, like, I warned them. Have they improved enough?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
I'm not going to take it to my manager.
Now suddenly you're the manager, right?
Yeah, that's your manager's job. Yeah, exactly.
So don't deny your manager the privilege of doing the job they were assigned to do.
The joy of managing an underperforming team member.
Possibly underperforming, not just underperforming, possibly actively thieving team member.
Yeah, an unperforming team member.
Yes. Yeah, what's the opposite? More of a detractor than a contributor, I guess you could say.
Yeah. This
Tough
does sound sucky. I'm sorry.
You know, look, I want to comment on one more thing. The question says, I like this person personally.
I retract my advice.
What happened?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No.
Oh, that changes
That would
everything?
make it harder.
Oh, it's someone I like.
It would make it harder for me.
It is a little harder, but also I'm just thinking about, I'm trying to craft a narrative about what could make these two things true. It's someone I really like, but also they're stealing company money and they're freeloading on the team. And I'm using kind of extreme wording there when I say stealing. It's not 100% clear to me that this is theft. Like, it's one thing to be lazy and not do a good job. It's another thing to defraud your company by taking a paycheck and falsifying your output, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And this is somewhere in between there. Maybe, I don't know if it's all the way to one end or the other, but let's assume it's at the extreme end and they are defrauding your company, but I like them, you know? I guess you could like them in kind of the platonic ideal of, I love all my fellow human beings, but this isn't a very likable behavior, in my opinion. And I wonder if this is a really charismatic person who can get away with a lot on the momentum of their charisma that can carry them out of sticky situations that would otherwise land them in trouble.
Yeah. Maybe they're a delight to have in meetings because they crack good jokes or something.
Yeah, we can't let this person go. Our meetings will be so bland.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm with you on the advice. Go to your manager. It's their job to know this stuff. The fact that your manager doesn't already know this means it might not actually be very well received. You know, if I had a team member that directly reported to me and was literally not doing any of the tasks I assigned to them, I would know about that really quick. So I don't know. Maybe maybe it's a cabal. Maybe they're actually working together to defraud the company. Maybe your manager is also not doing their job. Okay, conspiracy theory over.
Well, I'd probably want to know that. You might have to get a different job if that's the case.
And then your manager
seems unlikely.
Your manager's going to reach out to this person and be like, "The jig is up. We've been found out."
That seems unlikely to me. Have we answered this question?
I think so. Good luck.
Best of luck to you. I hope this gets better.
Me too.
What should people do if they want their own questions answered, Dave?
Go to the World Wide Web, enter an address of softskills.audio, and then click with your pointing device, or which might be any one of multiple input modalities, including but not limited to a mouse, touchpad, finger, or a hot dog pressed against a capacitive capacitive touchscreen.
I was not expecting that.
Mouse, finger, hot dog on the specifically on the Ask a Question button, which when you do, will load a form that you can fill out. And we have to say thank you so much to everyone who does that each week. We love reading your questions. We will answer all of them one day, we promise. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will catch you next week.